And welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Colin Murdy, and today's topic is inventory crash. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who's supported the company so far. If you got a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's M-U-R-D-Y creative.co. Or you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching at murdycreative.co to see the best of our product shots. Follow us, keep up to date with our daily photos, and be the first one to know about new product launches. You can also use the subscribe button at the bottom of our website to be included in all of our new product announcements. Be sure to check out our laser engraving, personalization options, and exclusive colors on the website, or you can get a blank one on Amazon Prime. All right, for those of you who listened to the last episode about our press problems, that was a big issue, and it took a lot of time and a lot of manual labor and a lot of just thinking and critical problem solving. But that wasn't the only issue that was happening at that same time. So for those of you who have listened to the podcast for a while, you may know we built our own inventory management system internally. Now, we didn't want to, and we've been trying to find a good third party that can do what we needed to do for our inventory management system. But we are in a bit of a unique situation. I mean, not entirely unique, but we are sort of. We take raw materials, leather, both cut and uncut, and a bunch of other materials. I think we have over 200 raw material components. We assemble them into finished goods. But the problem is that multiple components can go into multiple different items, and even something as simple as having a slim cut binder and a slim cut Da Vinci binder, those have the same raw materials. So creating a system to track the actual SKUs doesn't do us any good. What we needed to do, and we found that it was the only way to do this was to build it ourselves, is to create a system that essentially functionally takes the SKU, goes and looks up the SKU in a registry that we create that has all of the raw materials that go into that product, and then basically copy that into the ledger, which continuously deducts all of those materials for each order and keeps track of it, right? That's kind of the rough version of how it works. So far, the system has worked very well. It's been tricky from time to time to get things kind of squared away, make sure everything works the way we want it to, but for the most part, we've had no problems with it, and it's been evolving and becoming more and more powerful, and frankly, we are relying on it more and more for actual data and analysis, which is exciting, right? It's always good to see when you can build tools that do more than they originally were designed to do. But recently we had a problem. So at the beginning of every month, the first of every month, we do a inventory count, a hard inventory count. It's standard procedure across pretty much every industry to do a count of your inventory because obviously in the more nefarious reasons, you want to check for theft. But in the more realistic situation, things happen, right? And particularly in our business, there's waste. There's times where we start engraving something and it's the wrong name or the customer changes their mind or whatever, and we have to just throw that piece out, right? So there's wastage and there's inventory orders that come from Amazon that we have to manually enter, or Etsy, or a couple other things that are more, human. There have areas for human error, right? So for the most part, when we do our inventory count, it's close normally. It's very close. And a lot of times we can attribute the things that are off to very specific instances of, oh, I forgot about that, or it's one or two off, which happens. So that is normally our procedure. But this time around, we are in a little bit of a unique position. We have 175 orders at the moment that are in process. Normally, we don't have that many orders in process. Normally, we're much faster and we have much tighter lead times on a lot of our orders. It's probably a combination of the fact that we had such a problem getting our leather cut by that third party that we use, which increased our lead times on the materials, or on the finished goods, and then also a lead time increase on the cut goods or the raw materials from our leather supplier. So because of a combination of those things, we ended up getting a situation where we had things that just went out of stock and they were back ordered. Well, some of these back-ordered things are coming in now, and so it's changing. And so for the most part, it gets really complicated in that regard because we have a lot of things that are in process, but not all of them are actually in process on the material side of things, right? There are things that we've got ordered, but they haven't been pulled off the shelf. So they're on the shelf still. So we did our inventory account, our hard inventory account. And I'll give you one example that was the specific example that caused all the problems this last week. So we had pulled all of these slim cut espresso binders. We'd done a count in the morning. It was 153, which is not a ton, but it's normal for us to have something like that. And so we're like, okay, we're going to pull every order that we currently have off the shelf and we're going to do them so that we can tell and confirm that the number that is on the shelf at the end of the day is what matches with what the system says should be there to make sure that we properly took everything out the way it was supposed to be. And so we did that, and then we did a final count at the end of the day as we're putting in the new inventory numbers. And this is the second time we've counted inventory this month. We did one on the 1st, and it was off, but we didn't know how. So we did a second count on, I think, the 4th. And that's the one where this is the example I'm talking about today. So the one we did, and at the end of the day, it was 104. There had been 49 items that had pulled off the shelf for Slim Cut Espresso. The system said there should have been 22. Now, if it was 1 or 2 off, I would say that that was just a mistake. And if it was, and 22, that's a very different number than 49, right? And, it's like, do I think someone stole 30-something Slim Cuts? No, there's 4 people in the workshop. We're all very close to each other. There would be nowhere to put them if they stole them, and why would they steal them on the day that we're counting inventory? So that wasn't really an issue. But something is the issue. Something else is the issue. Our system is somehow not counting correctly, or we didn't count right, or a combination of both. And the problem is we actually have no way to confirm if that number is wrong in a variety of ways. And even if we were to figure out a solution to solve that problem with that particular item, we'd have no way to confirm that that was the same case with everything else, that we'd solved the problem at a global level without having to just do everything and count again, which we have no way of doing. So this presents a problem. We spend 2 hours, Meryl and I and Anna and Evan and everyone else in the workshop spent 2 hours just basically discussing, going round and round about what could have possibly been, why would this have been the case. We tried to backtrace all of the things that had happened. We were trying to run through the numbers. We could not for the life of us figure out why the numbers were so off. So, after about 2 hours of this, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, we're spending a lot of my money trying to figure this out. So here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to start the inventory system from scratch, because there were a couple of areas in the past where I thought the inventory system, because of the way we did things, was wrong, but it didn't seem to be wrong. So we're going to start from scratch. We're going to start an entire new ledger. The ledger will be a carbon copy formulaically and layout-wise as our current one, but it's going to be clean data. We're just going to start with a clean count. We're going to do a clean count, have that number be the starting inventory, and then put in all of the orders that have been ordered, all of the raw materials that have been ordered but have not been pulled. But the only way to do this in a way that is actually going to be accurate is to get everything that has been partially pulled out the door, which presents a little bit of a problem because it's a lot of stuff that's been kind of partially in process, right? Things that have been engraved and pulled and all. So that presents its own unique challenges. But this is what we've got to do. And hopefully we'll be able to get this done smoothly. We have to get all of the things we have to not engrave anything new and just get all of the things that are currently engraved out the door. We have to get them all complete and out the door. At that point, the only thing that will be left in the workshop will be orders that have either not been pulled or inventory on the shelf, right? So we'll be able to go and say, we're going to count all of the materials. We're going to go find all of those materials for all of the orders that have not been pulled off the shelf at all. They've been placed, but they have not been pulled. We're going to go find those, and we're going to digitally put them into a counter that's going to count all of the raw materials associated with those. We're then going to do the starting inventory minus, we're going to actually put those in the system, but we'll subtract those out. And that will give us the actual real-time inventory that we are actually at. Do I think this will work? I hope so, right? Like, we're about to spend a ton of time doing this. This has been a huge problem that's been ongoing. And it's like solving this is going to be so critical, though, because we can't go into, March not knowing what our inventory is for a lot of reasons. One, it's just bad practice. But two, we need to order things. There's more leather that we need to order, and we need to know how much we need of what to be able to properly order it. So this is a whole complicated problem that needs to get resolved sooner rather than later. And unfortunately, it is going to be inefficient to solve it. But there's no efficient way to solve it, unfortunately, at least not with the reliability that we need to have. So this is what we've got to do. The good news is that this presents us with an opportunity as well. Because in the last 2 months, there have been things that have gone wrong in the inventory system that we thought we'd corrected, but I'm not that confident that we had. And they could be causing this problem in the first place. So with a clean system, with a clean slate, putting in the orders that have not been pulled into the clean slate, and then moving forward from there, and having just the inventory count done manually in a hardcore way, having it all coordinated. If it messes up again in the same way in the future, we'll know that it's not the counting problem, it's the formula, it's the system in some way that's incorrect. Now that presents a whole new problem because Meryl and I crawled through every line of code in that system. We went through every last logic and traced every possible way that it does the counting to make sure that it was correct. So if for whatever reason it gets off again in the same way, it leads me to believe that it might be the system that's wrong. And that presents a whole problem because I don't know how to fix it if it's wrong, because there's nothing that I can find that would cause it to be this far off. And unfortunately, we can't find a good third party that we can rely on that does what we need it to do. It's weird. Most inventory systems are designed to be for like drop shipping and things like that, where you've got a specific number of completed goods in boxes with SKUs on the shelf. And when you sell them, you pull that off the shelf and you take it out, right? Like that's how it's normally supposed to be done for inventory systems. So this presents a problem for us. But we'll solve it. We always do. We have to. Anyway, thank you guys for checking in. Be sure to check back in next Tuesday for our next topic, and don't forget to check that subscribe button to be sure to get the latest podcast right away. If you have any questions or concerns about your other binder, journal, or folio, please feel free to contact us on the main page of our website at murdycreative.co, or you can contact us via Instagram and Facebook. You can text, email, call, direct message, all the usuals. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Well, I do appreciate your patience. If you've got a quick question, like you need to change the engraving, or you forgot a suite number in your address, something like that, feel free to give us a call, 414-434-9001. That's available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. You can also text that number if you've got a quick question, 414-434-9001. We're happy to help. If you don't get a hold of us via that way, just leave us a voicemail. We'll do our best to get back to you as soon as possible. If you think we deserve it, a good review can go a long way to help us grow a new community. You can either leave a review on the podcast app, whatever you're listening on, or a nice comment in the YouTube comments. Or if you want to go and leave a review on the product, go to murdycreative.co/reviews. There's a button there that says leave a good review. Click on that button. That'll take you to facebook.com/murdycreative.co/reviews. You can leave your review there. And we definitely love those. We read them all. We love them. We see them. They go up on the wall in the workshop, things like that. It really means the world to us. If you had any reason to leave a bad review, please, there's another button there that says reach out to us. Give us an opportunity to fix it. We really do want the very best, and we want to have a good relationship, and we want everyone to be very happy with their product. So if for any reason you're unhappy, reach out to us. We will do our best to fix it, and we stand by that. If you really want to help us grow as well, word of mouth is the best form of advertising. It always has been, always will be. So please tell your friends. And if you want to get a little something for doing that, you can go to the website, murdycreative.co. Top of the website, there's a login button. You click on that login button, it's going to ask you for an email and a password. Once you do that, you have an account with us. It's free, doesn't cost anything. Then you can go to the bottom left-hand corner of any page, and there'll be the rewards tab. If you're logged in and you place an order, you get 5% back as in-store credit on that reward or on that order, but you also have a shareable link in that box. That shareable link, if you give it to your friends or family, will give them $5 off their first purchase and give you $5 of in-store credit as a little thank you from us. So definitely go share that. If you have any podcast topics you want to hear more about, send them my way. I'm always happy to engage with our growing community, and I'm going to give you guys what you want. Either send us an email or leave it in the comments below in the YouTube video, and we'll do our best to get to it if we can. If you're looking for multiple binders, journals, folios, accessories, for gifts, giveaways, menus, really any reason, ask about our bulk discounts available. The bulk discounts start at minimum order quantity of 5. So you can either get 5 of one thing or 1 of 5 things. It's mix and match just based off your total cart quantity. And so that's a great option. We also have custom engraving. The custom engraving has no minimum order quantity. So if you want to get just one of your company's logo on something or your signature on something, we do offer that. If you want to get a bulk order, that's custom engraved. We do that too, so definitely reach out to one of us on that. If you want to get a bulk order or you want to get a custom logo engraved, reach out to us at sales@murdycreative.co, murdycreative.co. There's also a page on our website where it's got bulk/custom in the top bar. On that page, it's got more details about the deal. There's no setup fees. It's just a flat fee, normally $15, depending on the size and complexity. But there's more details on that page, and there's also a contact form you can fill out that asks a couple of extra questions that can help us speed up the process. So check that out if you would like. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.